that incorrectly.
So I come around. I do believe that's a block. You're right.
So we converting. I'm stopping at your
blocks.
house.
But-
I'm coming to your house with the rules, Jared. Now, if you move, but you're nowhere near the ball, is that a block?
Listen, Larry said it famously. Just because you move, I'm pretty sure Larry said this right. Just because you move doesn't make it a blocks. The only reason a blocks happens is because if you're interfering with the ball. So,
Well, interfere with the ball or my shot? What's the rule?
look. So a blocks happens is because you're in the way of the ball. I can't see the ball. You moved and the ball. You were blocking the ball. That's the blocks.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they call it a blocks, because you're blocking the ball. You move away. That's a blocks.
Okay.
The ball could be over here. It was never gonna hit me.
So now,
wait, hold up. The ball could be over here.
Though.
I could move this way. That's not a blocks. I could move my arm like this. It's not a blocks.
But like, let me give you one right here. The ball's over. The ball. It's hard. All right, so. Damn, I gotta think of a situation.
Which volley was it?
Give me one second. The one with Paz and Justin.
Oh, that's
All
a
right,
little
so,
different.
No. But like, look. So like, all right. So this is what it is. I hit the ball, and the ball's over there, right? I'm like, I hit the ball over there. And I'm flat-footed, right? I'm like this. I just have to stand still. But now I move. I'm not interfering your shot, but now I'm ready. I'm cocked back to go left corner with your shot, which you should be able to. Because I hit the shot like this.
Close to the right side.
Yeah.
Okay.
My swing is done. I'm like this. I'm square with the ball. Now the ball bounces, okay? He's coming from this way. Why am I allowed to now go like this? Because now I'm cocked back and I'm ready for this line when originally I was not.
Wait. You got me confused there.
So like
I
hit the shot, boom.
Go to the right.
It's coming.
He's coming from behind you to go get the ball.
To go over there, right?
You move that way?
Like, let's say it's over here. It's a little bit lower.
All right.
And I move to like adjust. Why am I allowed to do that?
Wait. But the wall's that way. Why are you moving that way?
To see, that's what passing. Like just to see, because you kind of need to see where he's going. You want to box him out. Like
well, you exaggerated the movement. So
well, we got to talk about the most exaggerated parts. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about minimal because it gets confusing. But like, I'm already square. So now that I see that Justin is chasing this, while I see him chasing this, I shouldn't be able to readjust and be able to change my whole shot selection.
So the key point right there is that while you're moving, you gotta make sure whatever you're doing doesn't interfere with the opponent.
But my point is it interferes because your shot has to now change.
finish.
But it interferes. You're saying that it doesn't, and I'm already cutting you short and saying it does because you had an intentional shot, and now I have an array that I didn't have.
I'm not saying you're interfering. I'm saying whatever you do, you gotta make sure it doesn't interfere with the opponent.
But I'm saying
you
any
moving
movement,
like this, and he's coming in, and he called blocks on me moving in like this, completely like this. It's not a block.
Why though? Why?
Because I'm not interfering with your shot.
You're not interfering with this immediate shot, but the next shot you have a 10 times % higher chance of hitting it because you're now in a hitting stance while I'm hitting the ball. That's what I don't like. Why are you allowed to move at all? And I could see you. If I can't see you and it's Ricky moving, it's fine. But if Justin could physically see me readjusting to hit it with my right, I can now box him out or I can go over there. I had a whole setup that I did not have like this. This is defensive and this is offensive. I shouldn't be able to turn from defense to offense before he even got the ball. If I want to end up like that, my shot needs to end like that.
Nah.
And that's my shots.
Once
That's
you hit
logic.
the ball,
No, that's logic, bro.
Listen,
That's logic.
Once you hit the ball, you're free to do whatever you want.
Not if I can see you.
Doesn't matter.
Why?
You're not interfering
Why
with
is
the ball.
Why does movement not matter?
Because
how are you going to tell me that it doesn't matter? I just showed you how it matters. I have no shot here. I set up the ball like that, and it's bouncing, and I see you later. Great play, you guys. And it's bouncing, and I see it bouncing. Now I'm not doing anything but advancing myself for the next shot. I should not be able to do that. He's not even returned it to the wall yet. Once contact comes, then I should be able to adjust. I shouldn't be able to follow the ball. Now I'm in like a hitting stance with my right hand. It's like cocked back. Now I have multiple options.
So when your opponent's hitting the ball, your partner's allowed to move, right?
My partner, because he's not in his view.
Right. But the view doesn't really matter. I'm not.
The view is all that matters, bro. The view is all that matters in this sport. Everybody hits it by their body. The view is all that matters in this sport.
Let's just put that aside. Okay, not that it doesn't matter. Let's just say it does matter, but we're putting it aside. Okay, I'm just working on a theory, right? So theory is, you hit the shot, right? And technically, my partner's allowed to move as long as he's not interfering with that shot. So in the same way, you can move to the left. and move away from the ball as far as you want, because the ball's over there. There's no way you hit the ball, goes over there, and you walk this way. Is it interference in any way?
I think it's an interference.
But if they're behind you, let's say they're not even coming this way, okay? Let's say they're coming from behind you.
So I'm going to hit this ball, and I'm right here.
You're already behind me, right?
As I'm hitting it, you can run over there. I want to snap it to the left corner. You're allowed to do that? How, bro? You're setting, it's like pool. You're hitting the ball stops being full, and then you turn to go.
You're jumping too far ahead.
Yeah.
Look. As you're going to the left corner and I'm moving to the left side, right? As long as I don't interfere your perspective of that corner.
But you're interfering because you're here right now with 0% chance if I hit the ball over there. But if as the ball's coming to me, you're now moving, that you're lessening my chance and increasing yours. And I don't understand why that's allowed during my shot. You see what I'm saying? And now I have to watch you do it. You're in front of me.
But listen, he had the view of the whole court the entire time.
No, I don't. I have this view. I have this view where I can't see I can barely see the corner, but that's my shot now because it's wide open. But if you're gonna hit the ball and it bounces, and as it's coming to me off the first bounce, you're going over there. How is that legal? You're increasing by like tenfold your chance. I see you though. Like, you know, if it's like this. Yeah, bro, you could go that way. I don't see you, but now I see you. Now I'm cocked back this way. You could wait till very last minute to start running over there. Now I'm committed. I can't do anything but go that way. And you read me already. I don't even have this as an option anymore. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to hit the ball.
But I'm allowed to anticipate as long as I don't interfere.
Anticipation is not physical movement. You can anticipate and not move at all. It's not an action. It's not a verb.
I think you should be able to move.
But why though? Why? Shouldn't you have killed the ball where I can't touch it?
The reason is I don't think I'm interfering with the shot.
But you're interfering with the play in its whole. Though.
I understand what you're saying. So,
bro, hold on one second. That's like in pool. If you're on the 7 ball and I'm tapping the 8 ball going, it's not interfering with the 7. It's not interfering with the 7. But eventually, bro, I'm looking at the layout. You're fucking the whole layout on my shots, and I see it.
That's different.
It's not different.
You're saying I'm just tapping the ball while you're going for the shot?
Yeah, it's the same thing because you're moving. You're adjusting the whole layout.
Well, the rule in that is that I can't touch the ball at all.
Obvious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's the same thing because now we're saying that touching the ball is like it's your play. I can't do nothing until you finish your play.
But you're moving though. But you
wait.
Is what I'm not understanding. Why can you do that? That's like. I have so many shots, and then you limit them while you're moving, while I can see you. You should be more finite in your shot, so I can't. It's over. You're giving me the chance to see you and still shoot shots. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about that individual shot. It's about the volley in its whole. You're increasing your chances. The whole volley, bro. You could the ball could bounce at the shoreline, and it could get really low. And as it's getting low, and I know you're committed, I could just run over there now. It's not reading you're not anticipating. It's obvious. If I don't catch it right here, I'm obviously waiting to let it get low to go over there. But you gotta wait. That's not how it should be.
My opinion is I think that should be legal.
But why though? Because it's not
like I said, I don't
on
think
that
it
individual
interferes.
shot.
I don't think it interferes.
But on the individual shot, not the volley in itself. You agree that it affects the volley in a whole?
I don't agree with affects the volley.
How? If you don't move and the ball's coming here and I shoot this corner, you're not getting that ball, bro. But if the ball off the first bounce and then you start fidgeting over there, you have much more percentage. That's a way that you can't argue with me there. You have such a low percentage here without movement and waiting me to make contact versus what you're saying, right or wrong.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't think it interferes with the play.
But what I'm saying is, does your percentages go up by your movement on my shot?
Well, that's my play. I'm anticipating.
But you don't need it, bro. Stop saying anticipate. It's not a physical movement. Anticipation is not physical. You could flinching is physical.
So what you're saying is that after I finish my shot, I cannot move, or it'll be an illegal play.
Not illegal. It's a block. You should be open. You're giving me the open door to a block. Not that it's illegal. You have to hit the ball and it bounces.
So, and now if he calls hold it, is it a block?
Yeah, it's not illegal.
Ew.
I'm not saying it's illegal.
Ew.
No, it's not illegal, bro.
Ew.
But if you checker somebody out, this is strategic, bro.
Okay.
Now that you forcing the block, you're giving me a wide open thing. Why can't I call blocks on that?
I'm still gonna say it's no blocks because just because the ball's over here, I feel like if the ball's over here, I can do whatever I want.
But you're thinking about but you're thinking about it as the one individual, bro. There's more people on the court you have to think about. Not just the shooter. There's also me, the person that you're playing against.
One thing I can't do is move up. Why? Because then I'm blocking the view of the wall, which he already had. If I'm moving the view of the wall, which he already had. If I'm moving movement, that seems like that seems like it's not interfering with the person's play.
But it interferes with the play in a whole.
I get it.
All right, that's all that. Yeah, as long as you can agree with that, that's mutual ground. That's fair enough.
So okay, so you know what? So technically you're right. So now let's recap, right? You originally said he can't see that corner, but he got me boxed out.
No,
right? No.
you may be able to see it or understand where it is because you have the whip.
But you definitely got that shot, and you know you got that shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. So if I move, and it opens up that corner, which he didn't really have earlier.
No, you have it. You just can't physically see it.
Right. No. But the visual matters, like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but if you want it to matter, I'm the shooter. It's on me to want it to matter.
So earlier I said put the visual aside, but now I'm bringing back the visual, right?
Yeah.
So, again, a blocks is only if somebody's view of the ball is obstructed. That's the only time you can call it blocks. So,
well, yeah, I guess I just don't agree
since
with
that's
that.
the only time you can call it blocks is when the ball is being obstructed by your opponent. So now, what you're saying is if I move, that's blocks. Even if I didn't have to move and the ball was gonna be over here.
Yeah.
So as he's shooting the ball,
You shouldn't have to wait for me to contact the ball to then move.
as he's shooting the ball, if I move
Yeah.
to the
As
side,
you're shooting the ball is different, bro. Because
Wait.
I'm talking about like bounce, and then
Yeah.
as it's coming, you're like,
Okay.
and then you're leaving. Like you see, that's what I don't like. If you want to wait till I'm like snapping, then you go. That's different.
So in order for the person to call it blocks and it be a valid block, if proximity of the ball, if it's the ball's over there and I'm completely out of the way, I can move. But if the ball is closer to me and he's about to hit the ball and I move, it's a block. He could call block. But it becomes illegal when he interferes with play.
Okay, so illegal, and blocks.
Blocks.
Yeah,
If
not
the ball is to a
okay.
close
That's what I'm
proximity.
saying.
So you're right.
Illegal, and blocks.
You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
So it is a blocks. You're right.
Not because it may interfere with this shot specifically, but in the volley as a whole. Because if you're looking at on top of the court, we're far, bro. From there. It's hard to beat my hand with that.
Right.
But now that you're letting it get low and you're like, oh, he's not going line, and then you just run over there.
Right.
I should be able to say blocks,
Blocks,
and
yes.
then it should go cold regardless of how far.
But again, the ball proximity to you matters.
But what do you like in the middle of the play? Do you bring out a ruler? Like that's why you should just cut it even.
Well, you
The
gotta
movement or no
But
movement.
you gotta understand, every call a referee makes is a judgment call. How? It's what we do as a ref.
But you're talking about proximity. So but your proximity is different than mine. I'm gonna judge Timbo differently than I judge you. Why? It should just be a cookie cutter
I understand.
rule.
But like
if you
again,
move,
we
it's a blocks. If you don't move.
we appeal if the ball was gonna make it. It's a judgment call. We appeal.
I mean, making it's like perspective. It's not judgment. Judgment is like what happened with Pazza. Perspective is different because you don't think it was physically hitting the wall.
Yeah, but from your perspective, you make a call. It's just judgment call. I'm asking for your opinion what that you thought that was, and then the head ref makes a call, right? So most of everything we do is judgment. It's all based on judgment.
I get it, but that's like calling a ball going to the wall is easier to judge.
Like
than
how
wait, 1 second, because now you like to make a judgment call in what we're talking about. I now need to jump into your body and decide if I affected the shot, and then jump into his. With the ball touching the wall, I just need to decide if it was high enough, hard enough, and that's it. It's an easier judgment rather than. Oh, did that affect Syed's
That's
shot?
why you
Is
need a
Syed
lot
a
of
lefty?
reps.
Is he a righty? That's why you don't even do it, bro. You move on his shot, It's a block.
It's a blocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not proximity, because then you're getting into the weeds, and then they're gonna say, well, Syed's a righty, he doesn't have that shot. Nietzsche's a righty, he can't overhand right, and then they start playing semantics, bro. It's cutthroat.
We do a lot of semantics,
But there shouldn't be.
For example,
That's not how you write rules.
Remember Taiwan's call on the line when that whole thing with the pass and Justin happened.
Yeah.
Taiwan said yes, pass move, but he does not think Justin had to play at the ball.
But Justin touched it, so I don't agree with Taiwan in that call. to be honest.
Whatever it was, it's
Yeah.
just one call. But that's what we're doing. We're analyzing the play. We're trying to make a perspective call. We're making a judgment
That's
call.
what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
but we can't like talk about proximity. That's why I just want to cut it. If
Well,
you move before the
proximity
contact's
matters.
made, but you can't pull out a ruler and say that was 12 inches, this was 9 inches. So you
But we're
can't use
judging.
it, bro. You can't
We're
use
judging.
You can't use judgments because we don't have correct refs to use judgments, bro. And then they're gonna judge differently versus C players and A's, and then there brings bias, and then there brings all that shit.
Yeah, but-
Cutthroat is move or no move. It's cutthroat. There's no bias. There's no judgment. Did you move? Yes.
But you see, that's the flaw with our sport. It's a non-contact sport, but everything is contact in our sport. We're doing
mean,
a
you don't
lot
have
of
to contact.
No, but when I say contact, I don't mean physical. I'm talking about what we're talking about: blocks, moving, doing all this. This is all contact sport.
I mean, a block is not. If you're not touching them, it's no contact.
No, that's a physical. I'm talking about not the physical.
Like a visual.
I'm talking a visual blocks. Exactly. It's a contact sport.
I think there should be visual. That's what I'm saying with this movement. Like certain movements, I think all movements should be blocks, bro. Because why are you moving? Because you're kind of uncertain, or you're trying to advance yourself.
Right,
Those are the only
right,
two
right.
reasons. So why are you
Right.
allowed to do that?
You're
Why-
not, and that's why you call it blocks.
That's what I'm saying. So
Right.
so this shit would be a blocks.
Uh,
If I could see you, like, because if you're over here and I want to shoot over here
Yeah.
and you start running over there, you're not interfering with my shot necessarily, but you know where I'm going. What am I'm in the middle of something here. I can't stop, and that's not my fault. And you're like, you're taking advantage of that incorrectly.
So I come around. I do believe that's a blocks. You're right. No.
We converting. I'm stopping
It's a
at your
block.
house.
But-
I'm coming to your house with
but-
the rules, Jared. No, I'm just
But
kidding.
again, I'm gonna say for me proximity matters because if the ball is by the line and I'm standing right here, I could move.
But if I could
And
see
he
you,
can't call blocks.
if I could see you, I don't think you should be able
But
to.
I don't think so. I don't think you can call blocks if the ball's on the line and I'm standing right here and I move.
But why are you moving then before I even hit the
I'm
ball?
not interfering with your shot.
But you're advancing yourself. You're like moving to do.
But
What
I'm
do you?
not- but
What is that
it's not
movement
an
to do,
illegal
bro?
player.
But what is that movement to do?
so you
It's
think
not
that
to-
should still be a blocks? He's moving.
You're advancing yourself on my shot. Why do you need to move? I can see you. If you hit me, if you hit the ball in a way.
Nietzsche is basically mental block. But it's not. Wait, what? That if he has a shot when someone moves while he's swinging, so you think a shot. This isn't a true call.
All right, Justin, get farther than a C doubles, bro. Like why is this guy telling me?
Listen. Let's actually break this down.
But there's nothing to break down.
I mean, we kind of did. Remember, you got me coming
Well,
around.
I'm talking about with Justin G.
Yeah.
This guy just argues to argue.
Side keep the rule book. That's crazy. But I get what you mean.
All the rules are like that, though, just based on the shooter, and that's not how you make rules. It's got to be based on all the people on the court. In my opinion, whatever. Justin's got his own rules, bro. Plays at a different level. I can't argue.
In specific to the Paz and Justin thing, Paz did move a little early. Justin was still making a play at it. Paz didn't go back. He just moved to the side, right? Like you suggested. He just moved to the side, which interferes with the play
It makes him way higher percentage of
him retrieving the ball.
of getting Justin's
he's
ball, and
obstructing-
Justin just dove all out for that. It's not fair, bro. You can see it.
So guess what? Ball's still live. He moved. Justin's coming around him. Calls blocks. Taiwan's saying it's not a playable ball, but he still moved. It's a blocks. At the
That's
moment,
what I'm saying.
At
Yeah,
the
okay.
moment, for me, I was betting on the game, so I was biased.
I was influenced.
Yeah, but
No more, please. No, I'm just joking.
But
We're gonna play next. We got next.
But that's why we need video replays.
Yeah, I agree.
We need video
need it,
replays. Because then you could actually make a judgment. Was the ball 2 bounces while
Well,
Justin...
first we gotta understand what the rules are, bro. Because if we replay
Right.
and sit there, if we have this 10-minute discussion every game,
But it's all judgment at the end of the day.
but it cannot be though.
Sadly,
it could be cookie cutter perspective
It's
based
hard to do
gone.
that. It's hard to do
Ah,
that.
it's not, bro. Because
In
we just
our
took it
sport,
out. We
it's
just
hard
took
to
it
do
out.
it. Yeah,
If
yeah.
you move, it's done.
Yeah,
Why are you moving? To either advance yourself or
Yeah.
get out of the way of the ball. You're not doing it anything for me. It's my shot. You shouldn't be doing it then, in my opinion. Or you got to hit a better shot where I can't see you. You know, that's
and you know what's funny is that just like
it's never on the shooter to do better in the rules, by the way. It's always on like the person to give the shooter away, like he's the runner in baseball, and that's why shit doesn't make sense.
But you know what's funny is that this conversation is good because just like any other sports, they implement new rules. We could start implementing new.
I mean, bro, that's what I've been trying to say for
USHA.
forever, bro.
USHA is not the final copy. It can't be the final.
I mean,
copy.
obviously, I know that.
Yeah.
It's based on small ball, which is rough, honestly.
Small ball.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It's really written for small ball. It's everything that's
But
written.
we
seems to be
definitely
written for
have
small
to
ball.
start as we get better with
it's
our
been so
judgment
hard to
calls.
understand,
with
bro.
with our reffings, we have to implement new rules. We have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all movement should be a block ball. And I think blocks should be appealable if there's no replays because I can't if I'm a main ref and this guy moves his foot like this, I gotta ask this guy, bro. Like I just gotta.
So that's
ask
why
him.
you started doing blocks appeal.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm watching people from the sidelines. Too many people getting fucked. I watched Taiwan and Nas get fucked in Buddha. I watched someone else get fucked. It happens at every event. I'm not just singling out Buddha, but I physically was reffing the line on Buddha and I watched it happen. I didn't even.
You couldn't
It
do nothing
sucks.
about
yeah,
it.
It sucks,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You like watch it and then they say appeal, they say no. And you're sitting there like, damn, he should really be able to appeal that. And it's not like we have 30 cameras where like we said what we said. You know, like it's not the NFL. You could be wrong, Glenn. You could be wrong, Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it is.
And
bro.
it's kind of awesome in like in stadiums when they do video because they request video replays as
As
well.
it happens.
Yeah,
As it
and
happens,
you
too.
see it on the big ass screen. Everybody's watching that. I love that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It makes
yeah,
it better. And then there would be no appeals. It would be nice if like it would just show up on right on top of the court like a screen.
Like A1 had a monitor right there on the first court.
Yeah,
Imagine
no,
if they
that would've been
replayed
nice.
it. Yeah,
That would've been mad
That would have
nice.
been cool.
Yeah, we need something like that, bro. We need something. But first, the rules need to make sense, bro, because the rules just seem like they're just based on the shooter, and they got to be based on the shooter and the people on the court. Because if you're visually fucking up somebody while they're swinging, I don't think that's allowed. And they're advancing themselves, not even with the physical. So you're basically saying
I
like any
definitely understand.
type of anything while I'm swinging should be able to happen. A scream, a honk, anything. And that's not true, and that's not fair. You know, to put all that on the player while they're shooting. And then when players make a legal movement, they tell the player who's shooting that he's got to call that on time, which is basically
Which is
impossible,
bullshit.
bro.
Yeah,
It's
which is
impossible.
It's
The ref needs to call a legal movement.
You make a good point. Now, what about a backswing? You want me to call a backswing when I'm in the moment?
Bro, let me tell you
like,
something.
I hit you. You're not supposed to be there.
Let me tell you
and I'm
something.
like trying to hit you.
What-
Oh, like I'm in the
this-
moment. I don't got
this is a-
time to call a backswing.
This is a backswing. This is a backswing. This is not a backswing, in my opinion, because I'm on your 45 now. Like, I'm not backswinging you. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion, though, that was a little sketchy.
But if you're backing up, you gotta give me space.
Yeah. I think you should only have to give space on a lob, because if you're letting the ball bounce, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Follow you?
Right.
Am I supposed to follow you? I'm not allowed in front. So you're basically just allowed to clear room until you want to shoot your perfect shot. It's not fair. It's just not fair. That rule makes no sense. If you want to back somebody up, the ball's got to be high, and then you got to back them up high like that.
Oh, you know, but now we bring something like into play, which is like we got dirty players, right? So
Not bad dirty players.
sometimes, let's say he's getting driven out, like the opponent does a nice drive, and you'll purposely back somebody up. People could do that.
No, sideways, yeah. Sideways, you could back somebody like that sideways, because it's your shot.
No.
They got to get out of the way.
No, but I'm saying you said should only be a blockable call if they lobby and you have to move out the way. Besides that, you should not be able
No,
to
you
move
should be
out.
out for that if you don't give somebody space on a lob.
But what if somebody gets driven out and he's trying to, because they did a nice drive and now he got me like fucked up,
Like jam.
jammed, and now I'm backing up on you. Can I call the blocks?
Did it bounce?
If the ball bounced.
Yeah. Did the ball bounce?
Does it
If you
matter?
yeah, that's what we're talking. A lob is the same. No bounce is a lob. It doesn't matter if it's drilled right at you. It doesn't matter anything. If you're gonna get drilled and you back up 5 steps. First of all, if you're getting drilled and you back up 4 or 5
get
steps,
what
you're
you
not
mean.
getting drilled.
I get what you mean.
You see what I'm saying? It's not a drill anymore.
okay,
you
okay,
can back
okay,
up.
okay.
But if the guys interfere with you, he's got to give you room. But if it bounces, he didn't interfere with you. You had a whole opportunity and a half. Now I got to give you a whole nother opportunity.
Got you,
What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Sit down and let you win the whole volley every time?
So the backswing got to be like if my hand made contact with you.
I feel like it should be hand, because if it's just the back, you should play it out. And then it's on this person to say contact because it's not a back swing.
Wait, so the opposition calls contact
After the shot, if I bump you to hit my shot, you could call blocks. I bumped you. I shouldn't really,
because it's a non-contact sport.
That's my opinion. That's also a very gray area.
So that eliminates what I'm thinking. Where players, even after it bounces, I'm just backing somebody up on purpose, and then I'm killing the
yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that.
You shouldn't be able to do it.
Unless you do that, and I can come in front of you. But that's not the rule right now. I have to follow. I have to stay on your 45 at all times, and that's not fair. You see what I'm saying? Especially in singles.
So that block call goes both ways. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I gotta get out of here, man. My feet is
too.
killing me.
My man.
Yeah, good combo, man.
Yeah, of course. Like I'm full of them.
Handball United.